look at the roots of this 15-gallon Canary Island date palm. Totally root bound. Just letting the roots air out a little bit. Actually, the soil too. Just letting the soil air out just a little bit because I had this thing in a saucer for a couple weeks, and it started making the soil smell mildewy. So I don't want any root rot problems. And a subscriber commented on one of my videos mentioning it, so it made me get kind of paranoid. So I thought I'd take it out and take a look, let it air out a little, and then I'm likely gonna have to up-pot it. But man, look at the size of some of these roots. Monstrous. Wow, I've never seen one this root bound because, well, this is the biggest one I've ever grown. But wow, look at this one. It's the size of my finger almost. What a root. You know what it's attached to. Wow. But yeah, this thing's looking awesome. Nice and healthy. Ready to give it a larger home. All right, he's gonna go into this 32-gallon trash can next. I think he's gonna grow into this really good because he has a deep root system, and look at how deep this is. I just gotta put some holes in it. So let's do that. All right, let's get some holes. And let's add some to the sides. Cool. Should be good. All right, let's mix up some soil, some cactus palm soil with perlite. To be well draining. So I'll just do this for about a few minutes, and then I'm going to load it into the container. And I want to compact it down.
Really good. It's a lot easier if you have a shovel. And this little tool. I want to make it really compact, as hard as I can.
So now I have it at a level where I want it. It's a 15-gallon. All right, so normally I would just put it right in, just the way you see it. However, because I had this thing in a saucer, I was experimenting with something to let those roots grow. This whole bottom area of soil all smells really bad, and I'm afraid of root rot, so I'm gonna actually cut off a good section of this soil here, hopefully getting rid of the soil that could potentially cause any root rot problems. And you can see just the water pouring out of that soil. this will hinder the growth a little bit because then it's gonna have to regrow all these roots again. But at least I won't have to worry about the tree dying on me. There's that big root. Okay. I mean, I technically could even put it back in the 15 gallon if I wanted to. If I wanted to contain it, but I don't see a reason to do that. Rotate it a little bit. Okay. Yeah, you can just tell this all this soil is really doesn't look good. It smells really bad, and it wasn't draining good. All right, so pull it right off. Okay. There we go. Nice clean cut. So this is what I'll be putting in. So I did actually add even some more soil. All right, now next I'm gonna measure the root ball depth at 11 inches. Make sure I got this right. Yeah, this is about 13 inches, so it gives me a few inches for watering. I like it. All right, so now I just wanted to make sure I got it perfectly centered. Let's go with around 22 inches, so 11 would be centered. Pretty good there. Let's come over here. Yeah, looks good. So now all I gotta do is fill in down there. This thing is heavy. Heavy. So now I'm gonna fill in the container sides.
Let's fill in the sides. I dug this date palm, canary island date palm, out of my neighbor's yard that didn't want it a couple years ago. And it was not easy to get out when you do it the right way. I did it with a little shovel. I've definitely removed them the wrong way many times leading up to this one. This is one of two that actually survived when I took it out of the ground, because when you remove them from the ground, you need to make sure to keep the root ball intact. They don't like their roots mess with. If you try to yank it out of the ground and don't leave the root ball intact completely, you will most certainly kill the tree. And all that work will be for nothing. But yeah, this one was a success. I actually was growing it indoors for a bit after I removed it. For a couple months I had it inside. And then I put it outside once it got warmer. And then it just started growing really good. And it looks really good. So this thing is going to be able to grow. These canary island date palms have some very deep roots.
And this guy is going to be able to grow in this container for a very long time. What I'm going to do is not going to overwater it in the beginning. I'm just going to underwater it a little, just because there's so much soil in there. I don't want soil getting wet. It doesn't have roots in it, because then you're just going to, that's going to definitely be a recipe for root rot. And we don't want that. But I think this guy is going to grow in here for a couple years, maybe 2-3 years, and get massive before needing to go into a larger container, or maybe eventually into the ground. Well, not maybe, I mean eventually go into the ground. At some point it doesn't make sense to have it in a container. And I got this 32-gallon trash can at Home Depot. I think it was like $24 or maybe $30. I think it was $24 because I think the 20-gallon ones are $16. Okay. Just trying to do this and hold the camera the best I can. Obviously, as you know, it's a lot easier when you're just doing it with 2 hands. Looks like I had just the right amount of soil. I'm going to have to compact the sides down a little, so yeah, I will need to get another bag of soil, but at least you get the point, and I can show you what it looks like in just a second. This guy's gonna grow massive in this. Because this container is, I think, 30 inches tall. It's pretty awesome.